What's the next idea?
Defaulting people in teams to certain models. I was texting with my friend who's at a VC firm, and he said my department defaults to a lower level automatically. IT set the permissions that way than another part of the org. I'm like, oh man, you got like the snickle frits. They did you dirty there.
Yeah, that almost sounds like offensive. It's like you get a lower lunch budget. Like you can go to McDonald's, everyone else is gonna go to Sweet Green. Did you ever get a hold of Fable slash Mythos before it closed?
No, it won't let me click on it.
Yeah, I wasn't able to try it either. Within Claude, I actually default to Sonnet instead of Opus. I find like the outputs are still pretty solid. It feels like it consumes fewer tokens. I hit my limits way slower than Opus. And yeah, sure, if I had something that was totally mission critical, I could switch back. But once I set that default, I just keep that default.
The part that I struggle with some of these things is like me as the finance person, I can't control them. I can control the budgeting part, but like I have no idea how to set up the permissions or how to like route certain tasks to certain models. But like I know it's the right thing to do.
I've seen people talk about like using harnesses or similar products to like auto route requests as like a layer of extraction between the user and the model itself. It feels like that's kind of an emerging product category or tech category. I haven't tried any of those personally and don't know enough about like the level of maturity.
I still think it should be on the list. Now, smarter people than us will figure out how to actually administer this. But I think, like you said, using harnesses and similar products to route requests to cheaper models under the hood. And what I'm hearing is there's an entire cottage industry that's already sprung up. So similar to how you would look at your cloud load and push that to different places, whether that be GCP or AWS, if you're multi-cloud, there are brokers, if you will, who are helping you divvy up the workload between tokens.
I mean, it makes total sense that we'd go in that direction, especially as folks look at like local models, open source models, older versions of proprietary models, and then the most advanced models. Like the price per token can vary like an extreme level. And so if we're looking at the amount of spending that people have, like it's pretty inevitable that we'll want to get a lot smarter about how we're using that spend.
I have a counterintuitive one here, Kyle. Celebrating when people don't use AI for things that don't need AI.
Could you give me an example?
Say you are a simple subscription business and you do rev rec in a spreadsheet and you're under $20 million in revenue. You could go out and buy a great tool. Maybe you actually go out and buy tabs like the sponsor of this podcast. But at the same time, if you're under a certain threshold, why would you want to chew up tokens on something that you're already doing correctly and it takes somebody 10 minutes at the end of each month? I think there are so many things we do today where we've been so AI pilled that we run at it with like to everything a hammer, it looks like a nail. And you should actually be like, you did the smart thing here for the company by doing something in a deterministic way.
Yeah, and I was talking to a publicly traded software company about their go-to-market AI motion. And I mean, they have a huge go-to-market AI motion, but they started with this idea of everything being agentic. And then they've moved to a mix of like deterministic and non-deterministic. And part of it's like you actually have consistency. Like if the process is like, if A, then B, it does that every single time. It does it at scale. It does it like affordably at a much lower price per action. And so, like where possible, you actually probably want to make as much deterministic as you can. And it feels we kind of just assumed to like default to AI for a bunch of stuff. And we now need to find the right balance. So it's like if you can use Zapier or an N8N or another automation tool for something, like why pull in AI for that use case?
I was talking to Ryan Racone, the CFO of Zapier. Zapier makes you happier. He was saying that 100% of their month-end close runs on Zaps. Not all of them are AI Zaps, though, and that's okay. He's like, that wasn't broken before. Yes, we want to use as much AI as we can to solve stuff that was in the messy middle and stuff that like you have to pause and have somebody configure something or jump in and then toss it to another Zap. But he's like, it's not like we're just replacing the ones that worked already.
Yeah, I feel like we've like over course corrected and now it's like finding that right balance between the two. We're token maxing and then now we're being much more cautious about token spend or like we will be in the future. But I think what's like missed in all of this is quantifying the AI wins before they get scaled into production and just like doing things that we used to do. Whenever we were buying software in the old days, we would try to make a business case, maybe partner with the vendor on a business case and like try to quantify, is it worth the time, effort, money, change management to go buy this thing? And we'd have to like get approval for that. Feels like with AI, we just started using it and like all the spend was approved, and we were told if we weren't using it, we were going to be in trouble or maybe laid off. And I think we got to like be way better at quantifying the specific use cases and the ROI of those things. And I would argue a lot of the use cases for AI are just things teams should not have been doing at all. When I looked to set up my first CRM at Growth Unhinged, I knew I wanted something that was actually AI first. The world has evolved. Most CRMs are still stuck in the 90s. I found Lightfield, the CRM that remembers everything and does the work for you. It joins all my sales calls, reads my emails, and has the full context on every account. At this point, Lightfield knows my deals better than I do. I haven't had to set up a single CRM dashboard. Instead, I simply ask Lightfield questions like, which deals in my pipeline are most likely to close, or who do I need to follow up with today? It even automatically prepares me for meetings with a personalized daily briefing, and setup was quick and surprisingly painless. Lightfield is my sales coach, RevOps analyst, therapist, EA, all in one. See Lightfield for yourself with a 14-day free trial. Connecting data from your inbox takes just 5 minutes, and you can migrate in under an hour. Go to lightfield.app, that's LIGHTFIELD.app, and use code MOSTLYGROWTH to get 3 months free.